These are the 5 most dangerous exercises in the world, and this is why. They've caused torn muscles, shattered bones, and emergency surgeries. Every single year, thousands of people end up in the hospital because of them. Not because they're bad exercises, but because most people do them wrong. You walk into any gym in the world, and you'll see someone doing this. Exercise 1 is the most popular exercise on the planet. It's the first thing almost every guy learns at the gym. It looks simple. You lie down, grab the bar, and push. But one mistake, and you're calling an ambulance. This exercise has even killed people. Yes, people have actually died doing the bench press. So what makes it so dangerous? It's all about the position. When you bench press, you're lying on your back with a heavy bar directly above your chest, neck, and face. You try to lift too much. You don't have a spotter. You lose control, and boom, the bar drops straight onto your chest, throat, or your face. And it happens way more often than you think. Now listen to this. Over 90% of weightlifting injuries come from free weights, and the bench press is one of the biggest causes. Imagine holding a fridge over your chest while lying flat on the ground. If your arms give out, there's no escape. It's falling fast and it's falling on you. That's the bench press. It gives you no second chances, and that's exactly why it's number 1 on this list, because it looks harmless, but it's one of the most dangerous exercises in the world. But don't worry, you don't need to avoid it. You just need to do it right. And a little later, we're gonna show you exactly how. In 1 year alone, over 24,000 people in the US went to the hospital because of this next exercise. And that's just the cases that got reported. The funny thing is, there are no weights at all, but it sends more people to the emergency room than almost anything else in the gym. You press a button and you start walking, maybe jogging. You speed it up, and then the next thing, you're on the floor screaming. Most of us think treadmills are safe, but according to injury data, they're the number 1 cause of gym-related ER visits. People get thrown into walls, smash into equipment, or get dragged under the machine while it's still running. It sounds funny until you see the injuries. And guess what? Most of these accidents don't happen while sprinting. They happen while people are just jogging because they're distracted. They're watching YouTube, texting, changing the song, and then bam, the treadmill launches them like a rocket. They're flying across the gym like a cartoon character. But why does this happen? Because the treadmill doesn't wait. It doesn't slow down if you lose focus. It just keeps spinning. That's how they end up with broken wrists, dislocated shoulders, or busted knees. Some even fall backward and hit their head. In 2023, a tragic incident occurred when Delry Rosario, a 36-year-old mother of 4, fell and hit her head on a treadmill at an LA fitness gym in Washington state. She never regained consciousness and was pronounced dead at the hospital. Now, we don't want to scare you, but you need to be extra careful when you use the treadmill because of these things. You can still do it, but be mindful. And did you know that landing from a jump can put more than 6 times your body weight onto your knees? That means if you weigh 80 kilos or 180 pounds, your joints could be hit with over 480 kilos. That's more than 1,000 pounds of force every time you land. That's like putting a grizzly bear on your knees. Now imagine doing that over and over and over again. That's what makes box jumps so risky. You jump up, you land, you jump down, but one wrong move and your shin meets the edge of the box like a car hitting a curb at full speed. And here's the info you won't forget. In studies of plyometric training, improper landings are one of the top causes of lower body injuries in athletes. Even the pros with perfect form still get hurt. So what happens when regular people try it? Torn ACLs, the knee ligament you do not want to snap, rolled ankles and foot fractures, split open shins that bleed through your socks, even herniated discs from stiff, awkward landings. It usually doesn't happen on the first jump. It happens when your legs get tired, but your brain says, one more. So should you even do box jumps? Yes, but only if your knees are healthy, your landings are soft, and your form is perfect. Otherwise, skip the box, because it might not be worth the risk. What do you think? How long does it take to damage your spine? With this next exercise, about 1 second. All you do is bend down and pick something up from the floor. But here's the trick. That something you pick up is really, really heavy. Scientists say lifting heavy stuff from the floor can put more than 1,000 pounds of force on your back. And that's exactly what happens when you try to deadlift heavy. Imagine picking up a huge rock, heavier than your bed. If your back is straight and your legs are strong, you're safe. But if your back bends like a banana, or even just a tiny bit, you can get seriously hurt. Here's how it usually happens. You add more weight than you can handle, just to impress people. You don't warm up because you're in a hurry. Your form isn't perfect, but you think, hey, close enough. Then you pull. Your back rounds, your muscles panic, and suddenly your spine feels like it's on fire. And just so you know, it's not always loud and dramatic. It can happen hours later when you reach down to tie your shoes, and then it feels like someone stabbed your spine with a screwdriver. Also, you know when someone faints mid-deadlift and drops like a sack of potatoes? It's not just from lifting too heavy, it's from the Valsalva maneuver, a breathing technique lifters use to brace their core. You take a deep breath, hold it tight, and push against your stomach like you're trying to pop your own head off. This creates massive internal pressure, which helps protect your spine. But there's a catch. Holding your breath too long while under heavy load causes your blood pressure to spike through the roof and reduces blood flow to your brain. Lifters have passed out mid-deadlift, hit their heads on the bar, or even bitten through their tongue on the way down. So, should you do deadlifts? Absolutely, but only if you're willing to do them right. And after the next exercise, we're gonna show you exactly how to do all these exercises without any risk of getting injured. People have become paralyzed just from standing still. That's the danger of this next exercise. It looks simple. You look like you're just squatting down to sit on an invisible chair. But if your feet are wrong, if your knees go the wrong way, if your back isn't strong, your body says, nope, and everything falls apart. Henrietta Paxton, a 40-year-old mother and PE teacher from Wiltshire, UK, was left paralyzed from the waist down after a gym accident in May 2024. While performing a 120-kilogram squat, the barbell slipped, crushing her spine. She suffered a complete spinal cord injury and now uses a wheelchair. And this isn't someone in a billion story. Squat accidents happen every year to beginners, pros, men, women, teens, and adults. Most people think the danger comes from how heavy the bar is, but that's not true. You could be squatting with just the bar and still blow out your knee or something worse if your form is off. The most dangerous part of the squat is the familiarity. You've done it 100 times. Your body knows the movement. You feel confident, maybe too confident, and that's when the mistakes happen. Because once something feels easy, we stop treating it with the same focus. Not because you're lazy, but because your brain thinks it's safe. That's the trap. So yeah, squats build strength, muscle, and boost testosterone. But if you ever stop giving them 100% attention, you're risking having a healthy future. Now let's talk about something even more important. How not to be the next gym fail video, or even worse, tragic accident in the news. Do not let your ego lift the weight. Just because the guy next to you makes it look easy, it doesn't mean you can do it too. Start light and learn the movement. Make it look easy before you make it heavy. If you can't do it slowly and smoothly, you're not ready to do it fast and heavy. Warm up like it matters, because it does. Would you race a car without warming up the engine? Of course not. Your body is the same. Take 5 minutes to get your blood moving and your joints ready. Do bodyweight squats, arm circles, and light sets with just the bar. Always check your form, every set, every single time. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or your 500th. Bad form is how people get hurt. Use a mirror or record yourself. If your rep looks like a noodle falling off a plate, fix it before you break something. Use safety bars or spotters when lifting heavy. If you are benching alone or squatting near your limit, set up safety bars or get someone to spot you. This isn't being extra cautious, it's being smart, because if you fail a rep, the bar needs somewhere to go, and that place should not be your face, chest, or spine. Stop if it feels wrong. Your body has alarms. Listen to them. If something suddenly feels sharp, pinchy, or just off, please stop. That's your body saying, please don't hurt me. You're not weak for stopping. You're smart for avoiding an injury. Do not zone out, ever. If your brain is scrolling TikTok, texting your ex, or thinking about what to eat later, don't lift heavy. Most injuries don't happen because people are weak. They happen because people aren't paying attention. Treat every rep like it could go wrong, and make sure it doesn't. Know the difference between lifting hard and lifting dumb. Pushing yourself is good, but forgetting everything you learned just to hit a new personal best, not good. Training smart means knowing when to go for it. Build for the long game. You're not just training to look good today, you're training to move better, feel stronger, and stay injury-free for years. That means using proper form, taking rest days, and not maxing out just to impress a stranger at the gym, because being the strongest guy in the room means nothing. If you can't walk without pain 10 years from now,